is up, YouTube? It is SpectreCave75 here today. We're playing Sakura Bunny Girls Part 5. Alright, here we go. Do you have a plan to break into that company? My suggestion would be to wait until it's nighttime and sneak in then. There will be fewer guards. No way we're going to wait like chumps. We're going in now. Now? How? The place will be packed with security workers. How are we going to infiltrate that? We're going to use it the front door, and they'll be as nice as to let us in without making a fuss. Upon hearing Riko's plan, I can't help but furrow my brow, doubting if she's joking or not. Taking into account her wide smile yet composed expression, I believe she means it. That sounds like a death wish, Riko. We're only two, and there'll be a dozen or even more. You're forgetting the fact that I'm a bunny girl, Yori. We'll be fine. I'll take care of everyone with my powers. Maybe, but that will be noisy. It won't be as long before the police shows up, and we'll be in a serious trouble. Oh, when I said take care, I meant the non-violently. It'll be like a walk in the park. The more Riko insists it'll be easy, the more uncertain I am. Are her powers that strong? In that case, why do you need me, Riko? You're making it sound like you're gonna take care of everything yourself. To be honest, I need someone resourceful as backup. Nothing should go wrong, but if it does, you'll be there to solve the problem. It's super unlikely though. My powers haven't failed me before, and now it won't be the first time. So everything should be really safe and easy enough for us to not break a sweat. All things considered, are you still in, Yori? This is your last chance to back down. If what you're saying is true, then yes, I'm still in. But think that if your powers actually fail for the first time today, it's going to get tough for us there. I have completed faith in my abilities, Yori, and so should you. This operation will be a success solely thanks to them. I hope that's the case. I really do. Finding my hesitation amusing, Riko takes me by the hand and starts pulling it, guiding me to what's become our objective. I still have no clue what her powers are, but they better be impressive, or else I'll have an entire enterprise thirsting for our blood, and that won't end well for either of us. Just as Riko claimed, we entered the building using the front door, our customers and employees going up and down the relentless around the building. This is like an anthill. The only difference is that the ones tasked to protect it have firearms and others deadly gear. So this is a company. What do they do exactly? There are lots of people here. Officially, they sell phone services for both enterprises and regular customers like you and me. Unofficially, they're creating fake customers to launder money and taking advantage of loopholes to avoid taxes like cockroaches ability light. We're here to put an end to that and expose proof to the public. Their service must be full of data and we will use against them. Those servers must be under heavy surveillance, Riko. How will we get to them? Simple, using the front door as well. Only need to ask the receptionist where it's the data vault, and we'll be on our way. What? Bro, what? How are you gonna do this, bro? This is like some top 10 dumb criminals. How are you gonna ask them? Wait for me while I get changed. It'll be a moment. Hardly believing what I'm hearing, I follow Riko with my gaze, watching how she enters the company's bathrooms. If her plan wasn't crazy enough, now we had to add a conspicuous bunny suit to the equation. Are you ready to roll, Yori? Or do you prefer to keep staring at the ceiling? What? How can you be back already, Riko? I saw you get in the bathroom a few seconds ago. I told you it'd be a moment, Yori, and that moment is long gone. I guess so. I didn't expect you need less than 10 seconds. Also, why is everyone ignoring you? You're wearing the strangest suit possible and nobody's giving you a passing glance. My powers are kicking in already to their eyes. I'm completely unremarkable. However, we shouldn't waste time. Crowds affect the strength of my illusions. Oh boy. Amazed to see that Riko's able to hide in plain sight. I come with her to the receptionist's desk where the receptionist raised her head to look at us. She's unfazed by Riko's appearance, her tiny smile proving she's going to serve us like normal customers. Welcome. How can I help you, sir and madam? Hi, I was wondering where the data vault. The data vault? Oh, you know, where you store all the confidential information that's extremely sensitive for the company. Uh, I see. The receptionist twists her lips with confusion. Her expression hints about she's about to call the security gun to pin us down. I'm sorry, but I can't provide you with that information since I don't have it. The security team can. However, do you want me to tell you how to get there? Yes, please. It's really urgent. Okay, just take the elevator to the bottom floor. The security team's located there. And since it's a personal only area, you're going to need this to activate the elevator. Treating Rico as if she worked there, the receptionist hands her a security card, gesturing to her with her hands to where to go next. You can access the most building with this card, swiping it through the reader, and you'll be all set. Ah, that's very convenient. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Anything else, don't hesitate to ask. That's crazy, they gave it to us. What? Baffled with the scene, Rico giggles as she draws close to the locked elevator door, opening it with the card she acquired from the receptionist. And I come after her, impressed to have slipped into the building like that. Rico's illusions are way stronger than I thought. Alright then, bottom floor, here we go. Happy for everything to be going smoothly, Rico uses her card once more as she presses the button, prompting the elevator to groan mechanically before it begins to descend. We're in, and quite effortlessly too. Did you do something to that woman, Rico? She was talking to you so naturally that anyone would have thought you were her superior. Apart from using my powers on her, nope, nothing. Told you it'd be a walk in the park. Yes, but how do you... As I'm asking how she tricked the receptionist to give her the card, I'm interrupted by a loud ding in the elevator door opening, shortly afterwards revealing to us the sights of a long corridor. And at the end, there's a security check guarding at the gate that appears to be the shielded. If the vault's somewhere in the building, it has to be behind it. Time to shine again, Yuri. Let me do the talking. Rico winks at me, teasing as she approaches the checkpoint, alerting the security personnel and causing them to aim at their weapons at her. She calms, disregarding the lethal threat she's facing. Oh no. Stop this instant. You have no purpose to be here. Turn around and drop to your knees. You know what? You're right. I have absolutely no right to be here. In fact, I am trespassing. But have you and your team are okay with it, aren't you? Yeah, we're okay with that. Sorry for aiming our guns at you like that. Nah, it's fine. It's always fun to me when people do that. Amazed beyond description, I open my eyes wide when the security guard holsters their weapons, not caring one bit to hear that Rico's breaking their rules. Now that you're not going to open fire anytime soon, would you allow me and the other trespasser to enter the security vault? We have some secret information to expose. Sure, you can enter and do as you please. We won't hold you back. What in the hell? Nah, these guys got it. There's no way. Also, make sure you're not letting anyone in while I'm sinking this company. I don't want to be distracted. You've got it. If being awfully brazen wasn't enough, Rico raises the stakes by mocking them openly, the team taking no notice as they unlock the gate for us. Thank you very much, guys. I'll let you know when we're done. Until then, keep the door shut and do what I said, okay? Understood. Nobody will disturb you while you're inside. Elated with that response, Rico beams at them as she crosses the now open gates, the security personnel paying me no heed when I do the same. Look at this. And then we're inside. They obey her orders once again and lock the gate behind us, sealing the data vault tightly. That'd be a massive problem if Rico didn't have everyone in the palm of her hand. Welcome to the data vault, Yuri. There are countless servers here, but we only care about the one that manages them all. If we gain access to it, we'll gain access to the sensitive data we're looking for. So, let's find it, shall we? Too eager to wait for my response, Rico beams at me as she begins to scout the aisle full of racks, seeking to a server different from the others. Their appearance is practically identical, which means that this will take us some time. This is the perfect occasion to ask her for details regarding her powers. Yeah, how she uses it. Your powers are pretty amazing, to say the least. Do you know Do you use them to sneak into private areas like this data vault often? Pretty much, yeah. And it's always very funny whenever I do so. I always use my powers to get out of sticky situations and interrogate people if I need information. And in case you're wondering, no, I've never used my powers to ask the bank to kindly hand me a 1,000,000 yen. They give me that amount and much more in a heartbeat, but I'm not that kind of woman. It's a relief to hear that you use your powers for good. Being able to subdue people is extremely dangerous. Don't get me wrong, Yuri. I use them for good, but I'm no saint. I can get, let's say, impish from time to time. I can't allow my powers to go to waste, can I? Rico smirks at me teasingly, implying that she's taking advantage of her abilities for her personal gain. As long as this wasn't too glaring, then it's probably fine. Sooner or later, we all ended up misbehaving somehow. Excuse me if I'm blunt, but could you explain to me how your powers work, Rico? Curiosity is killing me. It's exactly what you've seen, Yuri. I can control most people to say that they abide by my word no matter what I order them to do. I'd like to call that crowd control, and it works like a charm. You can do practically anything with them if you get creative. What about fighting? Do you have any powers related to that, or like Satomi's? I'm afraid not. Like, I can fight and defend myself decently, but Satomi would crush me in a sustained combat. That's why I played it smart. My powers are all about slyness. Rico giggles as she keeps walking down the aisle, turning her head left and right constantly. It's pretty daunting to think that what could people do if they had the ability to control the entire crowds, but thankfully Rico's responsible enough and won't use her powers wrongfully. Things will be pretty chaotic in the city otherwise. Alright, here we go. You appear to be in control of anyone, Rico. Have you used your powers on me? You'll probably command me to forget we had this conversation if the answer is yes, but I still want to know. It's interesting that you asked me this because I can't use my powers on you. Not that I want to, of course. You can't? How's that? People with a weak determination will comply with me blindly, but strong-willed people like you will resist my powers and refuse to obey. Luckily for me, that's very rare, and I haven't met any people like that. However, as I told you earlier, my abilities are affected by the number of people that are around. The bigger crowd, the less effective my powers are. That's one of the reasons I needed you, Yuri. If we had someone strong-willed, you would have had to knock him out. But judging by how passive the security team was, this operation would be like stealing candy from a baby. Finding her comment amusing, Rico lets out a burst of laughter, untroubled to be heard by a few engineers that are roaming the installation. Why would she be troubled? She's possibly dominated them already without even talking to them. Ha, there it is. The master server, right in the middle of the room. I thought that this company would be clever enough to hide such an important component of data vault. My bad. They didn't place the server wisely, but at least they protected it behind a reinforced casing. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain to open, or it'd be if I weren't for the guys that are maintaining the servers right now. Tickled by the fact, Rico smirks at me before she draws closer to a random engineer, interacting with one of the servers as if we didn't even exist. She didn't say it, but her powers affect people despite her not saying half a thing. How convenient. Hi, how are you doing today? My friend and I here want to lay our hands on the master server, but it's locked inside of a pesky casing. Would you happen to know how to open it? It requires a security key like the one I own. Do you want me to open the casing for you? Yes, please. And if you could also put the admin credentials on the server so that we can extract all the data it'd be amazing. We want to ruin the company for laundering money and evading taxes, you know. Oh, I see. No problem. Not a problem. I'll log you in and grant you admin permissions. Yo, there's no way stuff like this could work on me. Nah, she can't. Ain't no way. Aware that our intentions are devastating for the company, the engineer stops whatever he was doing to unlock the master server case with his key, type on the keyboard and bet to it afterwards. And then after a few seconds go by, the second screen flashes green, meaning that we can use the server to fetch this company's sensitive data. Alright, you should be able to enter all folders. I'd say with the password security. If you want anything else from me, I'll be over there. I believe this will be enough, but thank you. We've been a lot of help. Happy to hear that he's contributed to destroying the corporation he worked for. The engineer smiles at us briefly before he returns to work, Rico replacing his position in front of the screen. Time for some computer magic. I'm about to stuff this bad boy with their corrupt accounting. Rico utters her mocking remark while she inserts a flashlight to the server, its light blinking slowly to show it's operative. What are you going to do, Rico? Do you know where the fake data is? Nope. That's why I'm dumping the whole server into the drive. The Lego bits will be there. And since finding them isn't our job, we'll send the data and be done with it. To whom? The TV station? The press? You'll see. Unwilling to answer to my question, Rico opts to tease me instead, instructing the server to save its contents on the drive as she speaks. The drive reacts to this by speeding up its blinking light to the point it becomes steady. And there goes their accounting. It's ours and begging to be exposed. We'll need a computer for that, though. Do you have a laptop under that suit by any chance? I'm afraid not, Rico. On the other hand, the engineers who work here, and who do you think they'll be as kind as to lend us one? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Rico chuckles scoffingly as she comes near an engineer that's studying in some sort of animated chart. His attention focused on it. Hello there, friend. Could you please close all that technical nonsense and give me your laptop? I need to reveal confidential data that's going to hurt the company badly. Sure, go ahead. It's all yours. Not offering any sign of resistance, the engineer quits the software he was using and opens the browser, moving to the side when Rico inserts the flash drive. Oh, you even connected me to the internet. How kind. Anyway, this will only take an instant. You'll be back to your work before you know it. The engineer nods obediently, witnessing unruffled how Rico sends classified data to an unknown recipient. It has to be some sort of reporter, right? Alright, it's off. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, do me a favor, remove all the cache from your computer. I don't want any trace of left that gives away that I used it. Alright, I'll get rid of everything. Compliant like a lamb, the engineer gets back to his seat, deleting any lead that could point at Rico. And Rico, after having stored her flash drive away, takes out her phone, opening what it looks like a stock trading application. Hold on for a second. Rico, are you seriously going to trade now? When else? After the company's stock plummets? I'm going to short their stock with the highest level leverage. If all goes well, and it will, I have more money than I'll know what to do with. Isn't that wrong? You're going to ruin the company. Think that they're the ones performing illegal activities, Yuri. I'm merely exploiting the situation without harming anyone who doesn't deserve it. Well, wouldn't it be extremely dumb to not profit from an opportunity like this? I guess. I just didn't expect you to be doing this when you said you use your powers for good. And I'm using them for good. I'm taking down a corrupt enterprise. Did you think I was a charity? Well, I always remember that charity begins at home. Rico dissolves into laughter at her own fuzzy logic, pressing the buy button and thus ensuring monumental profits. In that case, who did you send the data to, Rico? Surely not the news, because they take too much time to make it public. Exactly, I sent the data to a hedge fund specialization in short selling. They must be licking their lips as we speak. In a matter of minutes, they'll expose the information and bury this enterprise alive. It serves them right for being criminal scum. Convinced that what she did was right, Rico clenched her fist, her expressions mixed with triumphant pride and mockery. What a quirky way to make justice. Our mission is officially over, Yuri. Let's bail. I nod, Rico taking the lead as she heads to the gate. She asks the security team to lock. Hey, we're done here. Could you please open up? No response comes from the other side. Apart from the gate opening wide and security team idle as they're expecting further commands. You did well keeping this area safe, people. I appreciate it. However, I have one final request. I need you to wipe out the video footage. Nobody must know we've been here today. Could you do that for me? Absolutely. We'll erase every single video clip in which you two are visible. Thank you. You're lifesavers. Unashamed to make fun of the security personnel, Rico taps his shoulder playfully, bidding him goodbye as we go towards the elevator. With the recordings gone, it'll be as if this operation would never happen. Rico sure knows how to use her powers. She's crazy. Oh, back here again. Enter the main hall with absolute impunity. Rico returns the key card she used to the receptionist, who thanks her with a smile. Surrounded by a blithe ignorance, Rico started directing her step towards the bathroom. Her intention is so obvious that I don't even have to ask why she's going there. I'm unaware of how big the crowd must be for her powers to fail, but a crowded street will surely do the trick and affect her negatively. That's that, Yori. Mission accomplished easily and without any violence, just as I told you it'd be. Yeah, I'm genuinely impressed everything went so smoothly. No alarms, no fighting, nothing. An actual walk in the park. I must confess, it was still exciting. I wouldn't mind taking part in more missions like this. I know, right? Tricking people can be a lot of fun, especially when those people are criminals. When they snap out of my trance, they'll be extremely shaken up and wonder why the Enterprise is crumbling. Meanwhile, we'll be celebrating. Rico beams at me, her indirect proposal causes me to frown quizzically. Celebrating? Do you have something in mind? I totally do, but this is something we should discuss outside, Yori. We're done here. Agreed. Holding her wide, mischievous grin, Rico guides me to the front door, exiting the building just like we enter it, like regular customers that did nothing wrong. Little do they know how much we injure their company by exposing the truth. It's fucking crazy, like she has all that power. Anyways, Rico and I merge with the stream of people that are flowing down the street, stopping only when we reach a relatively calm spot in front of a cafe. It must be noon already. We spent a long time inside that company retrieving the fake accounting. Alright, now that we're far away from that place, we can discuss how we should celebrate our huge success. Much just as partying hard. It's been ages since I've gone to Scarlet Moon with good company. The Scarlet Moon? Oh, you don't know it? It's the city's trendiest nightclub. The lines to enter can become a mile long, and reservations are always full. You gotta be someone truly important to enter. And are you that important, Rico? Well, I was important enough to go to the Enterprise data vault, wasn't I? I guess so, yes. I chug out my response, finding it humorous how Rico can get anywhere she wants. They'll let us in, Yori. Don't worry about it. If that's what you want, of course. Going to such a nightclub can be intimidating. Nightclubs don't intimidate me, Rico. Few things do, so count me in. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I really want to see you wearing your best clothes, because, no offense, that suit is starting to become boring. It's my work attire, so yeah, you'll be seeing it quite often. However, I'll put something on different tonight. I have a closet full of clothes I barely touch. Same. You better pick something nice or else the bouncer won't let you in, and not even my powers can convince those stubborn people to do otherwise. We're both burst into laughter. Her mocking remark prompted me to split my eyes. There's no loser strong enough to make up for an ugly dress. Anyway, how about we meet at night, Yori? I have some errands to run, and it's better if I do them alone. Sure thing, but where's that nightclub, Rico? I haven't spent enough time in the city to know. Right here. That nightclub, along with the rest, is on this street. This street? Wow, who would have said that? Oh yes, it transforms completely. At night, you'll see it yourself in a few hours. Does 11 o'clock sound like a good time? We both should be ready to party by then. I nod as Rico sticks out her tongue, impishly, setting the meeting time. It's a bit late, but the night's still young. Mr. Himura didn't call me and tell me that he needs me. Celebrate with Rico should be good. Okay, it's settled. We'll meet here at 11 o'clock. Don't be late or else I'll have to use your persuasion skills to talk to your way into the club. And something tells me that talking is not exactly your main strength. You know that too well, Rico. Too damn well. And with yet another peal of laughter, she and I can goodbye and part ways. Rico running her errands and me preparing for tonight's party. I can't remember the last time I enjoyed the nightlife due to my previous job, so I must ensure that Rico doesn't notice too much. Nobody likes to stick in the mud. It's nighttime now. I arrived at the hangout point several minutes before the established hour. If the streets was full of razzle and dazzle during the day, at night those words would fail to describe it. There are neon lights everywhere, accompanied in the most cases by muffled yet loud music coming from the inside the building that they're advertising. The looks of the crowd have changed drastically as well. What were regular people wearing regular clothes a few hours ago have turned into impressive dresses and suits. Everyone's competing against each other to stand out. Funnily, I'm no different from them. For tonight, I decided to put on the most exclusive outfit I own, a gray suit that my father gifted me when I got my first job. It cost him a tiny fortune, which ironically led me to not wear it much. And if the gray suit wasn't eye-catching enough, I decided to pair it with a red shirt, the colors combining nicely and causing people to glance in my direction now and then. Well, here she is. Oh my, I thought you were a Yakuza chairman for a second there, Yori. Other than that, you look amazing. You could enter any club in that suit, in part because you scared the bouncers away. That still counts. Huh? That explains why people won't stop sneaking looks at me. But you know that you're with me. They'll stare at you instead. That dress is gorgeous, revealing, crazy expensive. Yes, yes, yes. However, the sinking of the certain unlawful company has given me an immense amount of money, so I went shopping and bought the best thing I could find. Why do you think I told you I prefer to run my errands alone? Rico narrows her eyes tauntingly, daring me to leer at her dress openly and in front of her. Although I managed to resist the temptation, my gaze locked on my provocative expression instead. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? The Scarlet Moon must have a pleading mob begging to enter, and it's going to be awkward getting in before them. Okay, leading the way, Rico, you're the one who has granted us passage. Rico watches how I move behind her, ready and willing to follow her to the club. But instead, Rico latches to my side, curling her arms around mine tightly. If you want to enter, you'll have to be my partner for the night. Our odds will be much better like that. Out of my mouth to question her logic. Though the moment I do that, she starts moving, forcing me to do the same. With her powers, why would we need to rely on chance? She just relies on chance. Not opposing Rico's evident teasing, I allow her to cling to me until we reach the nightclub. The menacing bouncer prevented an untold number of people from coming inside. However, Rico doesn't care at all, approaching the tower man with a smirk on her face under everyone's stupefied gazes. Oh, you're company tonight. It must be quite an occasion. A celebration. And there's always something to celebrate. Would you be as kind as to let us in now? There's a bottle in there calling my name. Go ahead and have fun. Friendly and uncannily welcoming, the bouncer opens the door for us, triggering the crowd to give us jealous looks as we cross the threshold. That was easy. Like when we infiltrated the corporation. Rico excels herself with her bodysuit on or off. My last remarks makes me realize something which I can't help but ask Rico as the darkness of the club surrounds us. How did you do that, Rico? Were you able to use your powers without the bodysuit on? It's quite simple, Yuri. I didn't use my powers. You didn't. Why did the bouncer let us in then? He treated you as if he knew you for a long time. That's because he does. I'm a VIP, and I come to this club really frequently. I didn't tell you anything because I wanted to see the faces you're pulling right now. You look so cute when you're confused. But as told before, I don't enjoy using my powers that way. Entering this club without paying will be stealing, and I'm no criminal. Not to mention that there was quite a crowd outside. Even if I tried, my powers wouldn't have worked. My powers have a lot of downsides, sadly. Rico giggles as if she stares at my puzzled expression, nudging me on the elbow to tease me further. Does this night hold any more surprises for me? I have sneaking suspicion that this revelation is only the beginning. Good evening, ma'am. I'm glad to see you again. Will you put on the usual? You know it. The rest don't make me look it's cute. I'll fetch it for you. The cloakroom attendant vanishes behind the door. My bros as low as they can get. The usual what, Rico? The usual face mask, Yuri. The Scarlet Moon is so trendy because it's the only nightclub in which you can be anonymous. You're asked to wear a mask all the time, in public. At least you can only drop it inside the VIP rooms. And guess what? And since I'm a VIP, I have an exclusive room and we'll be using it tonight. Rico grins at me seductively. The reappearance of that attendant prevented me from inquiring about her dubious plans. This is definitely not the kind of club I thought I'd be spending the time in tonight. Here it is, ma'am. Your bunny face mask. I always keep it apart from others in case you visit us. Also, I take it the freedom to picking a dragon face mask for your companion. Will that do? I can retrieve another one if you don't like it. No need. This face mask is perfect. It matches perfectly with his suit. Now you'll be the dragon of the city. Oh. Not giving me any choice, the attendant hands Rico and me our respective masks. Her tiny smile asks us to put them on immediately. Damn, if you were scary before, now you're utterly terrified, Yuri. People will think that the Yakuza have invaded the club. They shouldn't be afraid even if that was the case. I can see much with this thing on. And the lack of the light isn't helping. But you can see me, can't you? Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can. The ears of your bunny mask are pretty visible. Then you're good to go. I'm the only thing you have to see tonight. Rico moves to my side with a burst of playful laughter, wrapping her arms around mine as she did moments ago. And then, when she's locked her bodies with mine, she begins to walk, her steps heading towards the energetic beats of the music. Darkness becomes a blinding combination of colorful lights. The instant Rico pushes the door open, the appearance of the trendiest clubs being showy to say the least. Ironically, you can't enjoy the sights much since the illusion continues to blink and change huey. Although it casts enough light to pick on people that surrounds you, all wearing face masks that reminds you of some animal. Welcome to the Scarlet Moon, the place in the city where you can be a nobody for a night. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do, it's all about having fun with a faceless stranger that you might not remember the day after. Exciting, isn't it? Say that. Okay. Yeah, I guess. This is the first time I've been to a club like this, Rico. And to be honest, the idea of not knowing anyone's identity is kind of alluring. I'm happy to hear that, Yuri. I didn't think you'd be so open-minded about it. When we return to the club to celebrate in the future, and we will because we're unstoppable, we will try new things that will make everything much more interesting. Rico nuzzles my shoulder with the partner that her face mask isn't covering, using this pause to set a route to the bar afterwards. As I see it, absolute anonymity is a double-edged sword. The chances of doing something you might regret are much higher. However, so is the thrill. Intense pleasure is usually attached to danger. Tonight's a special night. Barman, send us a bottle of your best vodka to a private room number 7. And do it quickly, okay? We don't want to be bothered while we're in the middle of something. The barman nods faintly, darting to the back room to get what Rico ordered. Are we going straight to your private room, Rico? I thought you want to hang around the floor for a while. We can if that's what you want, Yuri. But if I were you, I'd follow the cute girl wearing a bunny mask to her room. If she's insisting a lot, it must be a good reason. Points taken, let's go. Opting for a much more direct approach, Rico convinced me to skip being anonymous tonight, guiding me through the nightclub until we reach her room. It's extremely luxurious. The velvet walls both beautiful and useful since they're absorbing all of the noise coming from outside. It goes without saying, but they'll prevent any noise from coming out too. The barman brought us the vodka already. He knows very well that when the bunny wants something, the bunny shall get it right away. And he hasn't seen the actual bunny with her suit on, has he? Maybe yes, maybe no, because even if I don't like using my powers for wig stuff, like stealing, I do enjoy harmless fun. What harmless fun for you, Rico? Many things, too many to list, but I'm sure you get the picture, Rico and I share laughter at our racy comments. Rico taking off her face mask as soon as her laughter begins to fizzle out. And I do the same, appreciating eternally being able to see normally again. You'd not believe how much better it is to look at you with your mask off, Yuri. Despite being funny, that whole Yakuza vibe was starting to give me the creeps. I really don't like it when someone could be armed to the teeth. It makes me want to transfer an accident due to walk out of the city. That sounds quite heavy, Rico. Would your powers allow you to do something like that? If the target has weak determination, yeah, I could order them to do anything. I could even ask them to put on a skirt and dance like a ballerina. Ballerina is something that I did once, by the way. It depends on their strength and my willingness to force them to do something humiliating. With great power comes great responsibility, but sometimes you can't just help it. Rico accompanies her giggles and shrugs her mocking performance, stealing a chuckle from me. As long as everything ends well in the end, nobody gets hurt in the process. She has the freedom to use her powers any way she wants. Perhaps some shame will do good to wrongdoers. Anyways, how about I pour as a couple of glass of ice cold vodka while you turn on your phone, Yuri? My phone, do you need it? Yep, I gotta show you something that'll split your sides. I used mine, but as you can imagine, this dress isn't meant to carry anything. It's quite the opposite, actually. Yeah, that dress is barely leaving from any room for imagination. Rico dissolves into laughter upon hearing my spicy remarks, filling the glass with a transparent liquid as I do what she said and prepare my phone for her to use. Thank you, Yuri. Now prepare yourself to hear the funniest thing ever. Rico tosses a glass my way before she starts typing something on the internet browser. The result of her query being a reel from the local news. This morning, a big and well-known short seller investment fund used a leak information regarding the city's telecommunications giant to shorten their stock. Minutes later, they revealed the illegal activity they've been taking part in, causing the stock of the company to crash and reap huge profits. The police are now investigating the corporation thoroughly in the middle of an avalanche of resignations to avoid paying for the crimes committed. Investors are selling their stock before they lack any value, which will happen soon as the current rate. The matter of fact, Viles explains the consequences of our operation in Rico's radiant expression, proving that what's happening now is surpassing her expectations. Wow, did their stocks plummeted that badly? Badly is a compliment taking into account you can't even use them to wipe your nose. But wait, that's not all. Things get way better, Yuri. Take a look at this. Using the browser, Rico opens what looks like a bank account, the number displayed on the screen, ridiculously big. That's what short sellers investors earn from shorting their stock, right, Rico? Nope, that's what I earned from shorting their stock. The other investors must have earned even more. Whenever they got a good opportunity, they go for the kill. No way, is that all the money really yours? It sure is, and this is very money is what will be paying tonight's bill at the club. So let's toast, Yuri, for this amazing investment. Cheers. Ecstatic for having become rich in a matter of hours, Rico thinks her glass, drinking most of her vodka with single swill. Despite my bewilderment, I tag along with her, sipping from my short glass. The flavor is so potential that I end up huffing a little bit. My involuntary reaction prompted Rico to giggle. What's the matter, Yuri? Is this the first time you drink something like this? I wasn't allowed to drink when I was a bodyguard, and I'm not a drinker myself, so yeah. In fact, this might be the strongest drink I've ever had in years, and I bet it's the most expensive too. That bottle's worth over 300,000 yen. Christ, that's $30,000 for just that drink? When Rico feels surprised, I almost dropped my cup to the ground. Isn't that a little too much for a single bottle, Rico? It depends on the person, Yuri. For someone who's earned millions of yen thanks to the downfall of that criminal company, definitely not me. And trust me, when I say this is only the beginning, Rico smirks as she drives her glass towards her lips, taking care of the little vodka that she left by gulping it heartily. This makes me wonder, has she not indulged herself in the past like she's doing now? With her powers, she could practically own Japan if she wanted to. I've been thinking that you planned this whole thing very carefully, Rico. Have you used your powers to make that much money before? It's going to sound pretty stupid in hindsight because I could have certainly made some cash, but no. This is my first and biggest hit. However, I'll say in my defense that I've been busy taking care of small problems around the city, as well as trying to prevent the Satomi from wreaking too much havoc. She takes her mission really seriously, and you had a taste of that. And why didn't you take advantage of your previous missions? Because I didn't think about it, to be honest, and before you say it, yes, that was dumb of me. I could have bought so much cool stuff, but it's never too late, is it? I guess so, you're not harming anyone. So I guess so, yeah. After all, you're not harming anyone or doing anything wrong. Yep, that's exactly what I've been telling you. I gotta look after myself or nobody else will. Rico chuckles at her comment as she fills her glass with the transparent liquid, staring at it softly with her hand. The way she earned so much money was unorthodox, to say the least, but despite everything it was, reasonably unlawful too. This operation was a great success, Rico. Will you use your powers to make money like this again? Oh yeah, you could count on that, Yuri. This was both fun and a service to society. But as I see it, making money was more like a plus. I'm not doing this for self-profit, you know. I truly hate it when people believe they're above the law and start abusing it to get an advantage or build a fortune. We're all the same, no matter who you are and how much money you have. I guess we kind of stretched some laws to bring that company down, but I agree with you. Nobody's above the law and nobody should ever think otherwise. Way to go, Yuri. I'm happy we think the same way, because a tiny misdemeanor like trespassing is compensated big time by revealing the dirty laundry of that company. Rico leaves the glass on the table, only to fold her arms, convinced of what she said. Indeed, we broke some laws, but it was for the better good. You mean it when you said that you earn more money than you can count, Rico. What are you going to do with it exactly? That's a tough question, Yuri. I'm going to have to give it more thought. But for now, I'm going to have fun with it. Buying the things I've always wanted, upgrading my apartment, that kind of stuff. That's just kind of like me upgrading my car and my gaming setup and so much more, all the stuff I need, even giving back to you guys. Yo, imagine. Upgrading, you could buy a new one twice as big, if not more. Yeah, that's true. Though I prefer keeping a low profile. I wouldn't want to draw unwanted attention, especially when I have so much money on my account. Will you share the money, Rico? That's certainly a lot for a single person. Share in what sense? Well, I was thinking that you could donate some to the local charity there. If there are any in the city, you'd be helping them a lot, even if you give them only a little. Oh, I didn't think about it. That's truly a good idea, Yuri, and very kind of you too. So yeah, I'll give him some. It's not like I'm going to miss it, and I believe that the less favored should get to enjoy it. Rico smirched proudly at her decision, looking forward to lending a hand to those who need it the most. It won't cost her much to make this world a better place. I think I haven't said it yet, but it was great working with you, Yuri. You didn't get to do anything because my powers are awesome, though I felt at ease knowing that you were covering my back. That's almost what customers used to say when I was their bodyguard. Were they buddy girls? If that was the case, I wouldn't have changed my job. Well, I'm glad you did. Now we're partners against crime. I wouldn't put it like that, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's toast again. So that we can get rid of all the wrongdoing companies and get rich by doing it. Cheers. Grinning from ear to ear, Rico clings her glass against mine, scarfing down all the liquors almost at once. I attempt to do the same, emptying my cup, but not without coughing. Damn, this thing kicks like a mule and burns like hell. How is she able to endure it so casually? I wonder. This incredible wild night comes to an end at the moment we finish our bottle. Its intoxicating flavor lingering in my palate. I'm slightly under the influence as well thanks to it, but the fresh air of the city is helping me snap out and come back to my senses. I turn my head briefly to glance at the club's entrance. The line is still so extensive, despite the time that it disappears behind a distant corner. It's a pity that Rico wanted to stay longer. I want to walk her home. It's the least I could do after having spent the thrilling day with her. On the bright side, this will probably be the first day of many. Lost in this wishful thought, I arrive at the familiar street that the lamppost posts. It lit, and the sky pitch black. The only thing it's lacking is a crash van and an overpowered girl in a bunny suit. I snorted my comment as I continue to follow the road. My apartment merely minutes away from here. Ironically, I spent more time outside of it than inside. At this rate, I'll forget how it looked. At least I'll remember its appearance tonight. I'll head towards the crosswalk when suddenly I hear a blurry noise coming from the other side. What was that? As if the universe had heard my question, the same blasting din echoes throughout the street. The source located in the old neighborhood. A thunderous racket like that can only be one thing. Gunshots. Alarmed by this fact, I take deep breath before I race into the neighborhood, using the deafening noises as guidance. There's something huge going on there. I hope I'm not too late. Oh boy. Oh, it's this place. The more I venture into the district, the louder the clatter becomes. I can see nothing, but judging by the aggressive sound I keep hearing, it must be some sort of big conflict. Is Yuga's crew in trouble, or is it quite the opposite? I don't think Yuga's gang would ever use firearms or either attack or defend themselves, so I'm afraid it's the former. Who would be so against them, although, and why? I'm about to find out. Crossing the labyrinth of roads and alleys, I ultimately reach Yuka's hideout, the outside surrounded by dubious-looking cars. It's never a good signal when they're awfully big and painted black. Thankfully, nobody's guarding the entrance to the old building, so I'm able to sneak in easily and without being seen. As I imagine, the warehouse becomes a battlefield. Yuka's people fight off their attackers the best way they can. At first, I think they're mobsters from a rival gang, but when I notice the gear they're using to bring down Yuka's gang, that possible falls short. Bulletproof vests, reinforcement helmets, military-grade weaponry. It's as if they were the former company I worked for. But could that be... No, impossible. If there was a raid, my employer would have told me about it to participate. Not to mention that we're a security company, not mercenaries. Who are these guys? Surrender now, maggots. This place belongs to us and you're not welcome. The mysterious assailant accompanies his screaming with a couple of gunshots to the ceiling, the strong smell of gunpowder hanging in the air, showing that he's using real ammo. However, Yuka's gang is undaunted by this threat, still willing to resist a bite back. We're not going anywhere. You'll have to take this place from our cold, dead hands. So be it. Indifferent with that response, the trespasser lowers his gun and aims it at the gang, his serious face showing that he will pull the trigger without any remorse. Shit, is he for real? I can't allow him to hurt anyone. Why don't you pick on someone else who could kick your ass? Huh? Who said that? Ha! Taken aback by my abruptive involvement, the attacker's unable to defend himself. When I kick his gun away, his eyes lock on me, sparkling with fury. Who the hell are you? Another member of this filthy gang? No, I'm not. I have nothing to do with them. Then what are you doing here? Get the hell out of here before you get some. And let you shoot unarmed citizens? Sorry, but that's not happening anytime soon. I warn you, idiot. Unafraid to use lethal force, he produces a combat knife from his vest, lunging at me, hoping to stab me in the chest. His attack is precisely deadly, or it would be if I hadn't seized the sharp blade inches away from my suit with my hands. How can you be so willing to kill people, and what for? Whoever issued your orders should tone it down. The trespasser gasps with nervous surprise as I snatch his weapon from him, using the knife's handle to smack his face. He reels in pain, disbelieving I parried his attack like that. You're done for, asshole. Mount him down. His armed companies obey his command blindly, putting me under their crosshairs. But the moment I'm going to dodge their shots by rolling to the side, an impossible force gust out of the wind blows them into the wall that hit the powers so powerful that it knocks them out. A gust of wind inside a building, a strange event like that can only mean one thing. Did you guys seriously think I wouldn't show up? Well, here I am. And I swear I'm gonna make you regret having to set foot in this neighborhood. To prove she means what she said, you could cast another burst of wind with her hands, this time forcing two attackers to fly out the window. Luckily for them, this is the ground floor, so they won't receive any fatal damage. Still, that'll hurt a lot. She's here. Focus on her. Together we'll defeat her. Want to bet? Yuka smirks before she clenches her fist, making a faint string of smoke emerge from her palms. They better not draw close to her, or else she'll obliterate them with her elemental powers. However, the aggressors do just that, forced to abide by orders of their leader. One of them attempts to slash Yuka across her belly. Unsurprisingly, she fails thanks to the heat radiating from her now incandescent hands. I can feel it from here, and I'm several feet away. Ah, what's the matter? Am I too hot to handle? Then you better run out of here because this is barely the beginning. Taking the initiative, Yuka pounces on an attacker that tried to hurt her, stealing his weapons before his eyes. And then she clasps it tightly, causing the knife to melt away and turn it into a molten puddle. Fuck! I didn't sign up for this shit. She wasn't supposed to be around. I'm out. Intimidated, he does what Yuka suggested. His companion is too afraid to react. See, that dude was smart. But hey, if you want me to punch some sense into you, fine by me. Using her fear to her advantage, Yuka stops on the ground with her heels, producing a directed earthquake to shake them like leaves in the topple them. Terrified out of their wits, they drop their weapons and withdraw much to Yuka's amusement. And never come back, morons. What the? Now's your turn, Mr. Leader. And think I'm gonna let an example of you? I'm afraid not. Are you sure? You look as if you soiled your pants. Yuka makes fun of him as she invokes her fearsome water lashes. The trespasser unsure what to do to fight back or even survive. And the same applies to his team, demoralized to the point of being paralyzed. Oops. Let's get close and personal. Get over here. Instead of flogging him with her whips, Yuka wraps them around his body, trapping him in what I'm sure is an uncomfortable position. It's funny, but if I applied enough pressure to my lashes, they think they sink into your skin and dice you like a boiled potato. Should we give it a try? I bet that we'd laugh. You won't do that. You're weak. Try me. Yuka replies with gravely voice tugging her hands so that the whips constricts him further. They begin to damage his vest and clothes. Would you look at that? I'm actually doing it. Do you still think I'm weak? Fuck, she's lost it. Empty your clips at her and help me. Who are you talking to? Your team picked up the ones that were out and left almost in tears. A pity you couldn't see them flee. Dismayed, the attacker's face goes pale, Yuka holding her mocking yet frightening expression. You have a chance to make it out here in one piece, Mr. Leader. Tell me who sent you and I'll release you. I won't. My lips are sealed. I thought so. Yuka twists her lips with disdain, increasing the pressure enough for the leash to ruin his clothes. If she applies any more force, she'll hurt him really badly. I'm going to ask you one last time, who sent you? Or do you perhaps prefer to turn it into a stack of meaty cubes? Do what you want. Do what you must. I prefer this over the punishment she'd give me if I told you. If that's what you want. Disappointed with his decision, Yuka grips the handle of her whips. Harder, her deadpan gaze concealing her actual intentions. Someone like Yuka would never kill anyone, not even her enemies. However, I've gone too far to take any chances now. That's enough. You can let him go. Wow, did you hear that? This badge has a guardian angel. That's what you can call a stroke of luck. Yuka giggles at her comments before she prompts her whips to fade away, causing the last attacker to crash against the ground. His clothes are practically torn apart, his face brimming with horror. Alright then, Mr. Leader, I don't know who sent you, but I want to give them a message. This is my neighborhood, those are people, those are my people, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect them. And if that means beating you guys to a pulp, you can be dead sure I'll do it with a smile. And when she's done, you can put an end to tonight's conflict by kicking out what has become her messenger, disappearing from the scene by driving away at a panic speed. Delighted with the outcome, Yuka's gang starts cheering energetically, extremely glad to have endured the attack. Alright everyone, that is the end of today's video. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.